But in terms of managing, helping, supporting our teams, we know not only from the media, but not only from speaking to businesses on a day-to-day basis, the challenges there, because the working from home environment that those wonderful people have, the people that deliver what we are trying to give to our customer bases, they're the most important people.
Spot on.
And I'm just fascinated actually how you are looking to the future to support those teams. What sort of things, definitely working from home is an easy key area for anybody to look at because of the change in dynamics of working. But what are the other things? I'll be fascinated. Our listeners will be fascinated. What some of the things that you may be looking at for the future to support the teams? Because I know that, for example, mental health is a big media topic at the moment. Rightly so.
It's a good question again. What we've adapted throughout the pandemic. So we had to go from an office-based environment to it was all virtual. So everybody working from home non-stop. But we made the decision at that point that one thing we could not let drop is visibility and engagement. But that had to be done differently. So, I was giving regular vlogs. I was checking into team meetings over Zoom throughout the pandemic. So, I made it my point, normally in an office environment, 175, 200 people, you would see 90% of them every month. You'd get around them, and we'd got 3 sites. We've got different locations.
Managing by wandering around.
Yeah, exactly. It's true, isn't it? But you learn a lot from that.
Loads.
But it was
the photocopier moment, the water cooler moment.
Absolutely. But it was great to we did that. We carried that on, so anybody could ask me, in a group environment, what was going on, and we kept people informed of what we're doing as a business, what we'd be doing through the pandemic, how we would react to each of the change in the lockdown sort of advice. So, constantly taking the anxiety of what, if people are feeling anxious about work, we really tried to take that anxiety away. So there was enough anxiety in the world, wasn't there, with the pandemic and the news.
Absolutely.
So the last thing we needed was them worried about their job. And that was straight away, we said we won't be furloughing. We'll be making sure you're fully engaged. We'll keep you up. But equally, we asked everybody to look out for each other. If somebody was, not going on to calls, or you could tell there was let's look out for each other. And we did that. Again, I've got a fantastic team in Intercity that look after each other. So that was that, Michael. But then coming out of that, going forward, how do we get the best of everything? So as we've come back in and the lockdowns were released, we came into the office environment. So people gradually came back into the offices. And what we've done at the moment, rather than stipulate you're coming back into the office 2 or 3 days a week or 1 day a week, or, we've just let people permeate back into the offices, and it's almost normalised itself. So in the offices now, they're busy days on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so people are getting that camaraderie, and our Chief People Officer has put on fantastic social events. So, we've had virtual social events. We had a festival last year in the summer where we all got together again, outdoor, but in a safer environment, and just people got back together again. And I think people had lost that, that collaboration and that camaraderie with their workmates. So we're trying to provide that. But we're having to, every business has had to change. We've onboarded probably around about 25 new colleagues throughout the pandemic, of which some of them I hadn't met for nearly 6 to 12 months face to face because of lockdown.
Which would have been unheard of.
Unheard of, and so it proves it can be done. Sure. So the new norm, I think, is still evolving. I think, but rather than formulate your mind on what the new norm is now, our approach has been let the new norm find itself and let
Okay.
our colleagues define the new norm with how they want to work. And me included, we all now enjoy a lot less commute time. We're more efficient. You know, you're starting work a lot earlier, you're actually positive contribution work, you start earlier, you probably finish later, and you're having 3 hours of travel or whatever, 2 hours back, and then being able to see your family more and do things with your family, your pets, whatever you want to do. We want to create that environment. And what I was more proud of, we got Best Companies, Sunday Times Best Companies, which is a quite detailed survey of the feeling of our staff and our colleagues. And it was fantastic. And that's, for me, is the most challenging period as a business leader I've ever known, in terms of keeping people engaged and, focused on the collective goals.